Welcome back, you beautiful people, to another lesson in Advanced Excel. And today we're going to be talking about using the VLOOKUP formula with the match formula, right? Using the match formula with the VLOOKUP formula. Okay, now if you look at this table I have in front of me, you have some companies listed here, their sales and their cost. Okay, so from what we already know, if I wanted to use a VLOOKUP formula to find the sales of the black company, how would I enter the formula? So let me enter it here. Okay. Once I type in VLOOKUP and it asks me to enter my lookup value, which of this should I enter as my lookup value? Should it be black or sales? Now, if you remember the rule I told you, the only rule on VLOOKUP formula, and that is the lookup value must come from the first column, right? Or for VLOOKUP. The lookup value must be in the first column. And out of black and sales, which one is in the first column? Right? It's black. So that means that my lookup value should be black. Okay? Then my table array, I'm just going to select the whole table. And remember to lock, always lock your table array. Okay? And what's my column index number? Now, because I'm looking for sales, I'm going to count from here. 1, 2. It's in my second column. Then what's my range lookup? It should be an exact match because we're not talking about slab. We don't have a slab. We have unique data here. So exact match. Okay. And I press enter. And as you can see, that works fine. It gives me my black sales 6, 7. And you can just see it's working. Even if I change the company, let's say I now want to look at orange company. Okay, it does that as well. Okay, now what if suddenly I'm no longer interested in looking at the sales of orange, I now want to see the cost. What happens if I come here and I type cost? Why doesn't it change? Why doesn't it give me 4,000? It's still showing me 4,005. And that is because if you go into the formula, there is no link between this cell and the VLOOKUP formula. Unlike the lookup value, which there's a link between the VLOOKUP formula here and the cell B3, so that whatever I type into the B3 is reflected in my VLOOKUP. There's no link. So that means that if I wanted to find my cost, I would have to come, if I wanted to find orange sales rather, I would have to come, sorry, my bad. If I wanted to find orange cost, I'll have to come to the formula and type in 1, 2, 3. It's on the third column, so I have to type in 3. That's the only way it will work. But I would want a situation where it is automated so that I could just type in sales here and it works fine. Okay, so how do I create that link? You create that link using the match formula. Okay, you create that link using the match formula. And I'm just going to show you how the match formula works. So unlike the VLOOKUP formula, which asks us for a table array, the match formula only looks at a single array. It's not asking for a table, just an array. Like for example, this array, right? Then it matches a value and gives you the position in that array. So let me show you an example. So here, if I have match and I say, okay, let this be the lookup. Okay, then it asks what's the lookup array, and I select this array. Now I cannot select something like this because once you put in 2 by 2 it becomes a table. It must be a single array. It could be, this is an array, this could be another array, this could be another array, right? This could be another array. So it must be an array that you enter into your match formula. Okay, so I've entered this array and I lock it, and I'm using an exact match because we're not dealing with slabs. Okay, and as you can see, it gives me 2. It is telling me the position of orange in the array. The array starts from here, so 1, 2. Orange is the second item on this array, right? So it gives me the position. So if I change this orange to, if I change it to black now, it's going to give me 6, because starting, if I start counting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it gives me the index, the position of whatever item I'm looking for in the selected array. Okay, so how can this help me with my VLOOKUP formula? This match formula could easily replace my column index number, right? So that I don't have to start counting myself and entering it each time I wanted to change between sales or cost or something. So instead of putting 3 here, I could instead come here and enter the match formula. He asked me, what are we looking up? We're looking up this cell, whatever we enter into this cell. Then what's your lookup array? I'm going to select this horizontal array, the one we use for counting our column index, as our lookup array. Okay, then what kind of match are you looking for? I'm looking for an exact match because we're not dealing with slabs. Okay, and I can close it now, and when I press enter, it gives me black cost. And if I change this to sales now, you can see it gives me black sales, right? So that these 2 cells now become automated. I don't need to come back to the VLOOKUP formula at all because I've integrated it with match. Okay, so now something else you could just do on this VLOOKUP to make it easier is to use list validation that we talked about, so I don't have to keep on typing it each time I want to change it. So let me enter a list validation in this cell. So I'll select the cell, I'll come over to the data tab, right? Then I'll come to data validation, allow list, what source? Let my source be all the companies, okay? And I press OK. That way, there's a drop down list and I can easily change it and it's reflected. Let me do the same for sales. For this second cell here, I come over to data validation, allow list, what source? Okay. Now you can see with this drop down list, I can easily change it anywhere I like and it's reflected. So that's working fine. So this is the benefit of using match formula with a VLOOKUP. Okay. So now let's move over to this, just showing how the match formula replaces the column index in the VLOOKUP. Now let's move over to sheet 2. Now this is just showing using the match with VLOOKUP and using it with HLOOKUP. But let's start with VLOOKUP. So here we have another table that shows company name, sales, and cost, right? And we want to use our VLOOKUP formula with match here. So once again, let's enter our VLOOKUP formula. Okay, what are we looking up? Remember, your lookup value must be in the first column. So it is going to be this company name cell that we're looking up. Table array. Let me select the entire table. and remember to lock it with F4. Column index number. Now I'm replacing this column index number with match. Okay, so I've entered match and I will look up the information type. Okay, the lookup array. Since we want to automate the counting, I'm selecting this horizontal lookup array and I'm locking it. Then your match type should be an exact match. Okay, then the match type for the general VLOOKUP is also exact, and there it is. And you can see that it's working fine. Let me change something. Let me change pink. You can see it gives me my pink sales. Okay, let me change the sales cost and gives me my pink cost. Okay, now let's use match with HLOOKUP. Okay, now I type in HLOOKUP. It asks me what lookup value. Now, unlike the VLOOKUP where I said a lookup value must come from the first column, because this is a transpose, this is a horizontal data set, it should come from the first row. Okay, your lookup value should come from the first row. And which one is in our first row? Is it red or sales? It is red that is in the first row. Okay, so I'm selecting company name. Table array. I just select the entire table and lock it with F4. Then row index number. I like the VLOOKUP where I replace the column index number with match. I'm going to replace the row index number with match as well. Okay. Now what are we looking up? We're looking up the information type. So I select this cell. And what's our lookup array? Now because we want to count a HLOOKUP where we used to count the row number, where we would go 1, 2, 3. We would like a lookup array to be this, right? Because this is what we used to count before. Now the match type is going to be exact as well, and the match type for the HLOOKUP is going to be exact. And you can see it's working fine. Our red sales is given as 3-4. Let me change this to something else. Our orange sales is given as 4-5. Our orange cost. Oops, I misspelled that. Our orange cost is given as 4,000. So that's working fine. So this is just how you use match. It's a better method to do when you have a 2x2 matrix, right? You wouldn't need to use match, for instance, if, let me go back to our VLOOKUP. You wouldn't need to use match, for instance, if it was only company name and sales. There will be no need for using the match since you know that it's only one. But once you have a 2x2 matrix, it's advised to use your lookup with a match. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. Please give this some practice. It takes some time to really understand it. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you very much for watching.